good defensive play by Bjorkman, and he thoroughly deserved that, and you can hear the crowd responding to him. It showed real guts and a couple of good lobs. And he's broken that awful sequence of sampras winning games. 4-1 now, third set.
Question for you, Jerry. How great do you think Sampras is?
Well, I think that his potential is to be the best player there's been in modern times, which may sound extravagant, but I think he has a better serve than Laver had. He clearly isn't where Laver was, because Laver did the Grand Slam. And Sampras has got to win on clay, and I think he's clearly set that as a target for this year or next. And when you see the way he can play from the back of the court, i.e. against Agassi in the final at Indian Wells, it becomes a possibility. So, yes, I think his potential is to be the best player of modern times. I don't think he's there yet, but as I say, I think he could be. What about you?
I certainly agree with that. I think it's probably the greatest accolade that you could give Sampras would be to compare him to Rod Laver, because he almost styled his game on the way that Laver played. He watched lots and lots of videos when he was younger.
It's going to be a huge haul back for Bjorkman if he can make it.
Now, if Ivan Lendl had been given that short volley, I think that Bjorkman would have had a large red mark on his stomach right now. This is the way to play. Again, waiting until he moves.
And that makes it 5-1 to Sampras in the final set, and in spite of what Kimiko Dati did this week to confound everybody, you'd have to say that Sampras is, to all intents and purposes, now through to the final. Whether or not he retains the title, it'll make no difference the fact that he stays at #1 for another week on the world ranking list, and that means he'll pass the 100-week mark as the #1 ranked player in the world. And only 4 other players have done better than that, but Sampras, who's still only 23 and a half, is the youngest player ever, he will be the youngest player ever to have stayed at #1 for more than 100 weeks.
I certainly think on this form today, Jerry, that he's going to struggle against Agassi.
I think so too. But of course, when Sampras and Agassi play each other, something else happens, and they're both lifted into a different position, aren't they, in a different place. Yes, tennis at the moment, in terms of tournament play, it's all about Agassi and Sampras, Sampras and Agassi. And it's going to be, I would have thought, through most of this year. Two match points for place in the final. Yes, well, he had a very good first set, did Bjorkman. Sampras in the end freewheels into the final, but by his standards, Chris, not an entirely convincing performance.
No, not at all. I don't think he'll be happy with that at all today. It was very loose and wasn't particularly positive the whole way through. I think he's got a lot to work on before he takes on Agassi in the final.